What is up, Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's episode, I have a super special guest, an awesome coach friend, Leann. Welcome to the podcast, Leann.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. We met 2 years ago at the Real Coaches Summit, and we just got back about a month ago. It's already been a month? Has it been?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a month. Holy cow.
Yeah. And great to see you as always. I don't even remember how we met. I met somebody else, and then you were hanging out with her, and then we all hung out together last year.
Yeah, I think it was the last night at the get together, and we just all started talking and then walked back together and took a bunch of pictures, and yeah. I think it's
now
funny.
We're friends.
I know. Now we're buddies. So, but I think I got a chance to get to know you a bit more this last time, which is nice. I think we had some really great conversations, so it was cool.
Yeah, we did. That was awesome. Yeah. And are you going next year?
I already bought my ticket. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I saw that you bought it and I was like, crap. I wanted to wait. I wanted to just give it some more time after spending the money and whatever. And then I saw that it was going to go up. So I bought it right away.
Yeah. I'm every year, I don't even question. I'm like, sweet. Yep. Bye.
Yeah. I figured if for some reason something happens with the family or the kids, then I'll definitely easily find a coach who wants to pay the cheaper price.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. But I don't plan to miss it because it's my favorite. And there's already a speaker that I can't wait to see. So
who?
It's Doc Liss is her.
Oh, she's speaking again?
Yeah.
She's awesome. She was there the second year, my first time going to the summit. Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah, she's impressive. And I love all of her information. And I think, and she's getting even more out there right now. And so I love everything she has to say. So
yeah, it's great. There's so much crap out there.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty, and I don't even think that I get the really exciting stuff because I was, a small account, I'm a small coach, right? So I don't even think I see the craziest stuff that's on Instagram and on social media right now. But when I do see it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, no wonder these people are confused.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. There was one of my coach friends, he sent me this video. It was fat fasting. And it's this woman is just drinking butter basically all day. It's disgusting. I'm this literally gives me reflux just watching this. But it had I think almost 1 million views. I'm this is the problem because the crazy stuff is crazy. So people watch it. And then it gets more traction. I'm this is ridiculous. I would never have a client do anything like this.
I know. Or that one, did you see the video I did where I caught another, she's a holistic something, and she was encouraging people to drink their urine instead of doing HRT. Her tagline was F HRT, drink your pee. And I'm like, what is going on?
What is wrong with the world?
Yes. And here are these poor women who are, already scared to do it because they've been inundated with incorrect information and probably feel like junk. But instead they're going to try drinking their urine instead of just going to a doctor and getting some estrogen and potentially fixing a few things, Crazy.
That's disgusting and crazy. And people probably did it.
I'm sure. The comments, I looked at the comments before and I was like, oh my gosh, this person's like, I've been doing that for 15 years. This is not new. And it couldn't be at the start of the stream or the end of the stream. It had to be midstream for it to be the best.
I don't even know. Dutch testing, right? You can use urine to test your hormones.
Right. Yeah.
But drinking them,
I know. I was speechless. It took me a while to come up with what I wanted to say because I was like, how is this possible? I was so excited that something like that finally popped up on my feed. So I can be like,
so you can do a response video.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't get like crazy stuff either.
Yeah. It's really, I was pretty excited. But it didn't, when I did the video, it did not get remotely. And she had like millions. I mean, that video like propelled her account. Propelled it into, I think now she has like 24,000 followers or something like that. And she had like not even 1,000 prior to those videos. And I was like, maybe that's seriously. Yeah. So, and mine got like
insane.
barely 500 when I did the video. It's like,
hey,
dang it.
500 views, that's pretty good. Like 500 people hopefully saw that,
Yeah. Hopefully will not drink their pee. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know there are some crazy things out there, but and I've done some crazy things like, in the hopes of losing weight and whatever else, but that was out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's out there. Yeah, speaking of, so usually if you guys have listened to the podcast for a while, every time I have a coach friend on, they have an incredible story. And that's what usually inspires them to become a coach. So speaking of your journey,
segue.
How did that start? Yeah, tell me your story. How did you become a coach?
Oof. I definitely didn't set out to be a coach. I pretty much was an overweight kid most of my life. At 16, I did diet pills and Slim Fast, and that's all I really knew. Like, I only knew to be thinner. I just wanted to be thinner and smaller. And, I got cut from the basketball team as an sixth grader. And that just kind of set me down a road of like, I guess I'm not good enough to be active. I'm not good enough to be an athlete. And that just kind of, set me down that path. So I was never really active after that point. And, fast forward, having kids, all that stuff. Like I probably did every diet out there. Every diet out there. I think
except for the P1.
Except for the P1, yes. And I did not do carnivore because the idea of eating a stick of butter and like the fat, like I can't stand eating fat on steak. So I didn't do that, but I did a bunch of other stuff and only to constantly, lose 10 pounds, gain 10 pounds, lose 10 pounds, gain 20, right? And I think that got worse after having kids. But I always vowed that I was going to do something different for my daughter, that I was going to teach her something different. So I would never talk, say that I was fat or say that I was overweight. I never talked about my body in front of her. But once I hit 40 or almost 40, I was like 30, maybe 2 months before I turned 40. And I was like, I need to do something different with my life. And that's when I was doing jazzercise classes at the time, because it was pretty popular around here. And it was super fun. The instructors were fun. My friend convinced me to go. And I was never a dancer. Like I said, not athletic at all. But I loved it. It like made my day. I struggled a bit with postpartum depression. And so that really like kind of got me out of my funk, dancing and working out and things like that. And so one day before my 40th birthday, I was like, I think I need to do something different with my life. And so I decided I was just going to randomly become a fitness instructor for jazzercise. Awesome. And I trained to do that. And I got that certification on my 40th birthday, which I don't know who decides to do that for, when they turn 40, right? But that kind of propelled me into this like health and fitness lifestyle that I didn't previously have. But I never really had the nutrition piece. I struggled with injuries a lot. I struggled with energy a lot. And at one point, I kept injuring my back. And at one point I couldn't teach anymore. I'd be out for a month and then I'd come back for a week and I'd be out for another month. I just couldn't really, it's like my body couldn't deal with it anymore. And so, after that last injury, I quit and gained pretty much all the weight that I worked, to come off, becoming an instructor and working my way up there And I knew that there had to be something better out there. Like I knew the nutrition piece was something that I was missing. So did my research, found my first coach. It took me a good like 6 months to find somebody that I really liked, that I felt would understand me, that I could kind of see that had a similar story, I guess, of, kind of yo-yo dieting, being a mom, understanding kind of that lifestyle. And she like completely changed my life. And we're still friends to this day. She was a
That's
mentor.
awesome.
But I think I lost like 20 something pounds with her. And at the end of that time with her, I just felt reinvigorated. And I was like, maybe I could go back to teaching. Like, I feel great. I missed helping people, be their healthiest selves. And I mean, even though I was teaching classes, people would ask me questions and how can I do this? How can I do this like you, Leann? And I missed that, right? Having that kind of community and helping people. And that coach was like, well, why don't you do what I do? And I'm like, psh, yeah, right. I can't do that. She's like, why? You'd be great at it. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. So I did a little digging and talked with her more. And yeah, so she just helped me get started and pointed me
That's
in the right
awesome.
direction. And I knew that was just the path that I needed to go. And yeah, so it's been quite a ride. I think it's been 3 or 4 years since doing it on my own and just kind of having, coaching people myself. I want to stay pretty small so I can give people the attention that they deserve, right? But yeah, it's been interesting. I think the most interesting part of it is now into my 40s. I think, well, I was obviously in my 40s when I started doing this, but you adopt that healthy lifestyle, right? And you're eating well, you're hitting your protein, you're hitting your fiber, your strength training, right? And then I didn't really experience a lot of the perimenopausal type of stuff. I'm 48
That's
now
awesome.
until
Oh.
this past year. So until 47. And then all of a sudden things were like
Boom.
changing. So like I'm so thankful that I did that early on and kind of, got all that stuff figured out because it's made that transition, a lot easier, I guess. So yeah, that's my
Oh
story.
yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool. I mean, my goal as well, I mean, the coolest thing as a coach is if when you get a client to become a coach,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
pretty cool.
cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And then she was able to help you through, and because you had gone through her coaching too, you kind of saw how all of the process went and you were
Mm-hmm.
able to like kind of tweak it for your own clients and how
Yeah.
you that's really
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, she was awesome. It was never a competitive thing. And I feel that way about it's kind of like the Real Coaches Summit, like there's no competition. We're all in here to
Mhm.
help each other. And she was very much like that. And I didn't expect that because that's not, I have a corporate background. That's not where I came from, from a corporate background, right?
Yes. Yeah.
As a salesperson, like it's all competition.
Yeah, it's
So
cutthroat. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So she was never that way. I mean, she even invited me, one of her coaches, her assistant coaches was going on maternity leave. And she asked if I would cover that for a period of time. So that was like a total honor to be able to do that for her and her clients. And that's cool. It's been a cool ride. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
So, pivoting a little bit, so when did the perimenopause kind of symptoms like just drop? So, like a year ago or so, was it just all of the sudden, or how did it kind of come about?
Yeah, literally all of a sudden. Like I remember thinking that I was feeling good. I'd gone through a cut and started, back into my reverse into maintenance and I just started feeling a lot more aches and pains. I already at the start of last year, so when I was 47, my coach and I worked through I would really struggle in my luteal phase. So we do a deload the week of my luteal phase. And for me, that really helped because I really struggled with joint pain. And so that allowed me to stay consistent versus skipping a week, right? Because I'd be so inflamed and things like that. And I wasn't really connecting the dots because I just thought, hey, I was getting my period regularly, right? And then bam, one day I didn't get it, and then I didn't get it again, and then I didn't get it again. And my hair started falling out. Like I think
crap.
I've lost over half my hair since August, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to go through it, especially when you're coaching people because everybody's symptoms are so different, right?
Yeah.
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 So yeah, and it literally went from like one day I was like, oh wow, that's a lot of hair in my brush. And then it was more and more. And my hair dresser, who's also like my best friend since I was 5, at first was like, it's a normal. It's like normal time frame to shed like this. And then the next time she saw me, she was like, I think you need to go to the doctor because this is definitely, she could tell that it was potentially hormonal versus anything else, you know? So had my blood work done and I went and talked to my doctor and I was like, you know what? It's time. Um, I'm not messing around. Don't tell me that I'm crazy. Don't tell me, I do this stuff for a living. Don't tell me that I need to go do this because I already, I watch my protein. I watch my diet. I've lost I don't know, 30 pounds over the last however many years. I strength train like a maniac. And I have my, GI stuff in check. My gut health's in check. And I feel like junk. These are the things that are happening. I want some HRT. It's time. And she looked at it. She's like, yeah, it's time.
You have a great doctor then.
I couldn't believe it, honestly. When I saw her the first time 2 years ago, I was having some symptoms, but nothing that was crazy. She's like, well, unless you're ready to start, talk HRT, then you just kind of deal with do what you're doing, right? Like continue to work on your protein, work on strength training, try to lose a little bit more weight. And that's what I did. And I wasn't ready at that time, 2.5 years ago to talk about HRT. And yeah, she's like, okay, you're right. I did say when you were ready that this is what we're going to do. And yeah, I was shocked. I tell people that story and they're like, wow, I need that doctor. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
when you listen to your body and advocate for yourself, I think as women, we just need to advocate for ourselves, and
I'd say it depends, but yes, we should.
Yes, we should. But yes.
But not all doctors will take that into account.
Yes. And so many are not educated as well, have the full education for it. So it's an interesting process. So, and it's still not 100% like I started taking estrogen in January and then did my blood work after in March. So I waited a little while. And it's still like my estrogen is not there where it should be. My progesterone is like non-existent. So I definitely need to do some other adjustments. So yeah, but I think that's the sucky part is it's never, it's this constant battle.
Yeah, especially like in perimenopause before you hit like menopause, it's like things are just always like do like all. So eventually it'll be a lot easier to dial in, I'm sure.
I know. I was actually having this thought the other day. Like, I remember thinking when I was younger, why is it that all the moms have such short hair? Like, they all had like, really short hair, short bobs. My mom's had, a short cut for as long as I can remember. And I'm wondering if it's due to the hair loss through perimenopause. Like, none of them talked about it, right? Like, even my mom's like, I don't know if I went through menopause. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. I'm sure I did, but I don't remember like it being a big deal, but I wonder if that's part of it.
That could definitely be. I know it was kind of in style.
True.
Like for a little bit. I don't know why personally.
Yeah.
But
I know, but I've considered, I was like, maybe I need to like cut my hair. And I'm like, oh, I would not look good with.
Your hair is beautiful.
Oh,
you're good. You're welcome. Yeah, that could be for sure though. That is interesting because like that generation, like your parents' generation, like they did not talk about like any of this stuff. So any doctors older than us and or like people older than us, they probably are like, what are you talking about? Like hormonal changes. Like I didn't notice anything, because if you don't pay attention, you don't notice. But because you're very diligent with what you do, because this is your living and you care about it, how you feel and all these things, it's like you're more able to notice those shifts and notice when, you know, something has changed where it's worth talking to a doctor about and figuring that out.
Yeah. And I think like I've had a couple friends who are like, "How did you figure this out?" And I'm like, I listened and I tracked things, right? Like, I mean, it's not like I have any more time than anybody else, right? 2 teenagers, traveling husband, my own business, right? Like, I'm just as busy, but it was important to me, right? Like, I wanted to figure out why I was feeling this way because it definitely affects things. It affects how you interact with people. It affects
Oh
how I
yeah.
deal with my kids, whether or not I like my husband some days, it's true. So, it was important to me to figure that out. I think when it's important to you, you'll find the
Pay
time, right?
attention.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, definitely. And it's funny, like when a lot of clients invest in coaching or start working with me, they're like, I started to notice like these things. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Is this new? They're like, I don't know. I never paid attention before. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that kind of makes sense because you weren't as invested, right, in the process, or you weren't thinking about these things. And so I think part of it is you care a lot about yourself, but also like you're paying attention. And if you don't do this, or you don't have a coach, or you're not interested in health of any kind, then you're probably not going to notice big shifts. It's just going to feel like all of a sudden you just kind of feel like crap, but you're not really
Hmm.
sure what triggered that feeling.
Yep. And I think that's the majority of our clients too, right? Like they just think that it was a shift that just happened overnight, but in reality they probably were feeling this way for quite a while and just, you're so busy you don't pay attention. So then all of a sudden it
Until
gets
it's
too
really
bad
bad.
until it's really bad. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
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 So
Well, I'm
crazy.
glad that you were able to talk to your doctor and figure that out, because that's huge. Like, really.
Yeah,
Um,
I've been talking her up. I was like, just so you know, this was not I was expecting. I was expecting, you to be like, let's do blood work. Let's do this. But, you know, she just she's like, you were ready and raring to go. That you answered all the things that I would have asked you. You had them. So it's like good. I mean, it was like not even a 20-minute appointment. In, out, bam.
that's great.
I know.
That's actually pretty long for doctors, I'd
I
say.
know. I didn't count. It was probably less than 20 minutes, but probably while I'm waiting for her, it was probably a 5-minute appointment, but yeah, yeah. I
That's cool though. She
waited for my
spent
script.
5 minutes with you and listened to you.
Yeah, after I rambled on for all of my stuff. So, yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, have you noticed any big differences, or not really yet?
I've noticed it more. I definitely was having less joint pain when it first started, or when I first started it. Um, and my hair got better. And then I think as things went on, it's just kind of, obviously up and down. So,
Roller coaster, yeah.
yes, yeah. Um, other things, I mean, estrogen doesn't fully affect your libido, right? But I think when things are more balanced, um, it definitely improved some of those areas. So,
Yeah.
uh,
No, definitely.
yeah,
I'm sure like progesterone too, like if you when you will probably go on it, that's
yeah,
gonna probably have a big impact with that as well. And
yeah.
with your sleep, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I noticed is I'm all of a sudden, the 3 a.m. wake ups are happening. So now I'm like, okay, is it progesterone or is it that, I'm my, I need to get my circadian rhythm is off or something, right? So I've been trying to work on light on my eyes and all of that stuff in the, first thing in the morning to try and see if I can regulate that a little bit before I just go on another hormone. So I've been trying to do some of those things before I message the doctor and be like, well, my blood work came back and she thought, because I had done an IUD, I had done an IUD years ago, after my son was born, just to control some things. And I had it replaced a couple years ago because she didn't want me to have to deal with some of those experiences, like through the end of perimenopause and into menopause. And so she thought that that would help give me some of the progesterone that I would need, but I don't think that's the case. So, yeah.
Probably not. It's probably
Yeah,
not enough.
I
Yeah.
know. So, I'll be adding that one. So,
from clients that I've heard, like when you don't have it and you have it, it's like boom, sleep. Like,
oh, really?
yeah, it's really helpful. So I would maybe call your doctor after our call.
I will be sending a message today because I know she was like, just, you're not going to, it's not going to be this overnight thing. Obviously, that was with the estrogen, right? And it definitely wasn't. If anything, I felt worse for a while, which is kind of weird. But that all regulated itself. So, yeah.
Good. Yeah, progesterone usually, because it's like precursor to sleep a little bit.
Yeah.
You should notice it right away.
Yeah. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, mhm. Yeah, fun
So,
times in the 48-year-old world.
yeah, well, it's important like to talk about too, because most of my clients are like approaching either that stage or
Mhm.
in that stage or post that stage, right? Because like most people who reach out for help, they're menopausal women range, right? Mid 30s to mid 50s tends to be most clients.
Yeah.
So it's important to talk about because people don't talk about it. People talk about it more, but I think like I didn't know hair loss was a thing until you talked about it. I know like hot flashes, like mood swings, low energy, low libido. Um, I have heard like joint pain,
Mhm.
but that's interesting that the two that I've not heard frequently are the two that you experience the most.
Yeah, that is interesting. I was a little worried because my mom has, rheumatoid arthritis, so I thought at first
Mm,
I was like, "Oh, man, if this is what's gonna" I'm not prepared for this, but I think she was 51 when she was diagnosed, so it's definitely something. But she was never on any estrogen, any of that, right? So it'll be interesting. It's definitely something I keep an eye on. So we'll just see how
well,
that goes, but
most autoimmune conditions, it's like the perfect storm, essentially. Usually, and the interesting thing too, a lot of women going through perimenopause, menopause, they develop these autoimmune conditions
mhm.
because their body's under like a lot of stress from the hormonal shifts, and then they have the life stressors and other stressors they already had,
Yeah.
and they can't handle that extra stress in their bucket. So that's when they develop these like conditions.
Mhm.
And so I'm wondering if like a lot of women around your mom's age, if they had had like hormone replacement therapy throughout that transition, if maybe
Yeah.
they wouldn't have essentially triggered those conditions. I
Right.
wonder.
It's an interesting thought. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, just the amount of women alone in that age category who are dealing with, um, pelvic floor issues and bladder control issues. And, if they would have had, estrogen cream, if they would have had pelvic floor therapy, like that would have been standard of care. I think things would be a lot different now.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
even now, I have a client. I don't coach pregnant clients on purpose, but I had a client who I'd been working with for a while and she got pregnant. So this is not I have not had children yet, so I don't know. But I know that they should be referred a pelvic floor specialist.
Yeah.
She was not. She was not referred to anybody. And I told her she just gave birth probably like 6 weeks ago. I'm like, you need to ask your doctor to give you a referral for a pelvic floor therapist. You should at least get 2, if not 6 sessions. And
Yes.
you can give me the information that she gives you, and I can program that in
Mhm.
to how I scale you back up into appropriate training.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, that's mind boggling to me. Like,
Yeah.
how many women who I've had 2 women in the past like couple months. One had what's it called when your organs
Like
like fall out?
prolapse? Pelvic
Yeah,
prolapse?
she had prolapse, so she had to cancel. I'm like, yeah, like, go figure that out. She's not even cleared for exercise yet. And it's been like 4 months. Like, she had an operation.
Gosh.
Like, it's like scary stuff.
It
So
is.
it's like she never had proper therapy. And then I had another woman who hasn't felt her core in like 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, she can't
It's
even
so
connect
common.
to it. It's so common, but people don't know because until they're like, older and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't like how I look, because they were paying attention to their children and caring for their children and all that stuff. And then they start working with a coach and they're like, what do you mean feel my core? I'm like, you don't feel your core? Dang, that's crazy. And that's why they have low back pain, a lot of women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Literally, like, so I had 2 C-sections there, and pelvic floor therapy was never part of this. I mean, that was my daughter's 16, right? So it was a while ago. Never part of the plan. At 6 weeks, you're done and you're clear. You're clear to have intercourse, you're clear of whatever. And I'm like, 6 weeks, that's not enough time. But that was never part of it. And, I remember when my back got really bad and I had to quit teaching, I mean, I went through so much to improve that back pain. Like, I lost weight. I had a breast reduction because they said it was because my breasts were too heavy. So I needed to have and I was definitely very well endowed. So I was like, thank God, because I wanted them, I wanted them gone. They were just annoying all of my life. But so I kept doing all these things, and come to find out, like, if I could have gotten some of this, like, I think now, and doing some of the research that I've done and talking to a couple therapists, I think it's all pelvic floor related, like the connections between your pelvic floor, your back, like, it's incredible, incredible. And, just with bladder control, it's
It's
something
crazy.
that
And
needs to happen.
yeah. And I'm like, it frustrates me. I'm like, your doctor, like, my client was like, I'm cleared for exercise. I'm like, that's all they said? Like, they didn't give you any guidelines. They didn't recommend like therapy. This is like a week ago she messaged me that. I'm like, I'm not comfortable giving you exercise till you reach out and see if you can get a pelvic floor
Mm-hmm.
therapist, like,
Yeah.
with your doctor, because, like, I know enough-ish, I'd
Yeah.
think, but there's a lot of things that I don't know. I don't feel
Mm-hmm.
necessarily comfortable being like, I'm going to give you these things to do, right? I will
Yeah.
research thoroughly and reach out to Marie is a pelvic floor. She went through like a training.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to reach out to her. But
It's a lot.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you, like, with your coach, like, were you able to reconnect to your like pelvic floor and like to your core? And
We're getting there. It's
cool.
taken a long time. Like,
It takes a long time.
yes,
Yeah.
it's really, I don't know if you saw one of my posts. Yeah, it's a couple months ago. I had finally, like, it's taken me so long to squat over 100 pounds. Like, I never in my life, once my back got bad, which it never got bad until after the C-sections, mind you. But I, I never thought I'd be able to. Like, when it was so bad, I remember my physical therapist telling me, listen, you'll probably never teach classes again. Your strength training will be limited. Um, and walking will be your best exercise. So I was like, great, this is awesome. So the fact that a few years later, we're able to work through a lot of that and, build up to squatting 100 pounds when I never thought I'd be able to lift weights again is awesome. And I
That's
do think
awesome.
that's definitely pelvic floor related. And it's taken a lot of work. So people ask me, like, sometimes they'll see my transformation photos. They're like, why is it taking you so long? Like, well, kind of have some things to work through. Like, it's not this short-term thing for everybody, when you've got injuries, when you've got, after having babies, you've got gut issues, you've got all these things you got to work through.
Hormonal shifts,
Hormonal
like,
shifts, right? Yeah.
yeah, dude.
I think some people are so, um, they're so fixed on, like, these transformations that they see and see these like 6 weeks, in 6 weeks I lost this or whatever. I'm like, whatever, AI. Yeah. So
Yeah. No, my journey is like over 10 years. So, and I'm still not done. And my husband and I would like to have kids. So that's going to be a whole nother journey because I have to, so I'm like, it's crazy that people just even would say anything about that. It's like it takes a long time. It takes years, like to build muscle. I've been strength training since I was like 15. So 13 years I've been doing this, and I still don't look the way I'd like to look. I still don't have the amount of muscle that I'd like to have. And it's like people are like, oh, like look at this before and after. Well, usually it's like a bodybuilder who has spent like decades training properly, because a lot of my training wasn't proper, right? It was like whatever you want to do at the gym, and it wasn't really necessarily great. And so it's like, yeah, they've been doing that like appropriately for like a decade, and then they just went on a cut and revealed the muscle that they built. It's not an overnight thing. It takes decades usually.
I remember somebody asking me like, why don't you have abs, like visible abs? I'm like, I don't know.
Why don't you have abs?
Why don't
That's
you
what
have
I would
abs?
say.
Like, do you?
What kind of question is
I know.
that?
It's like, I'm sorry, I don't want abs. Like, I don't want to have the lifestyle that it takes to have abs at 48 with teenagers. I want to travel. I want to enjoy my life. I want to get some muscle and, kick some butt in the gym and, maybe see some really toned arms in my life. But if I don't have visible abs, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Like, I want to eat a burger. I want to eat tacos. I like having my dessert on a regular basis. That's not where abs are formed. So
nope. But that's okay. And it's funny because when most people realize what it takes to even get to that point, they would say the same thing. Oh, I don't want abs. I don't want to like be like extremely restricted to my diet, And the only people that I know that have abs regularly are men that have been training for decades and have an insane amount of muscle mass on their frame to where they can handle, extra calories.
Yeah.
Because they have so much muscle. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not a man. And they're also on high levels of HRT usually, right? So that helps too, right? Just a little bit. Yeah. Man, people online are such trolls.
They are. It cracks me up. I love having that conversation. I'm like, do you know what it takes to have abs? Like, if you're not genetically, like, does anybody else in your family have abs? Well, no. Okay, so you're not genetically predisposed to it. So do you want to know what it takes to have abs? Because I'm almost certain you're not going to want to do it. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you don't like tracking your protein or your calories, you don't want abs.
No. Or you might want abs. You just don't realize that in order to get them, you have to do all the stuff that you don't want to do.
Yes. Yes. It's a better way to explain it. So
I'm going to pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
So how did you said it took you like 6 months to find a coach that you actually liked? So how did you do that? And how did you know like she was the coach for you? Because like this isn't talked about that much. And like we know like there's at the Real Coaches Summit, I'd say like best coaches. Like we all care about our clients. We're all there for the right reasons. We're growth minded, right? We're not like trying to steal everybody's clients and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But we're all really different too. Well, so one, I guess, how did you find a good coach? And then how did you know that the other coaches weren't the right fit?
Well, I didn't even know coaching existed at the time. I remember researching, weight loss or something in your 40s, something like that on Instagram. And then people would just pop up. So I started following people. I started kind of just looking at their content, looking at what they were saying, essentially. If they had a website, I'd look. So I just wanted to see if they understood me. Like, were they talking about me? could I see myself working with them? Did they feel fake? Like, I mean, I think it's kind of easy to spot some fakeness
Oh
right
yeah.
now,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are they working with real people that have similar problems to me? I do think like 4 years ago, it was probably a lot more, there's a lot less B-roll, right? Like it was more transformation based and things like that. And so I was able to see a bit more of that. But, were they talking? Were they telling me their own story? Like, could they relate to me in any way, shape, or form? Because if they couldn't, like if they had not gone through their own weight loss transformation, if they had no idea what it was like to be overweight, um, if they had no idea what it was like it was important for me that they had kids because they understood what my lifestyle was like, right? I didn't at the time see anybody that if they didn't have those things that I really felt I got along with. So I think I interviewed two, and ended up with my one coach, and she ate I remember her eating Oreos and being like, you can still have your, lose weight and eat Oreos. And I was like, what? This chick's crazy, And she's like, I have dessert all the time. I went from this to this. And I was like, that is the lifestyle that I want. I wanted to show my daughter the right way to have a life, to, still be healthy. And because there are going to be times you want to go out, there are going to be times that you want to go on vacation, have a cocktail, right? And not feel like you're ruining everything. And that was really important to me. And so I think that was the video that did it. Like, I was like, oh, bingo. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. But and
That's cool.
I can't remember if I know I did do, um, she didn't have any did she have assistant coaches at the time? I don't think she did. So I did actually did the sales call with her. And she ended up being my coach versus some others where I met with them, but then was going to be with somebody else. I'm like, wait, I didn't want that. I didn't want to be with them. I wanted to be with you because you're the one that I'm seeing, So that was really important to me. Um, so yeah. And I think that's probably why I try to stay small too now is, it's important for them to see me, meet me. It's, my philosophy. It's, they're working with me directly. So yeah, it's still work that way to this day.
Yeah, and
And all about
I'm
the
the same
dessert too.
way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think the more, well, like on a business side of things, the more things you have to manage, the more like problems there could be, like with one, the quality of the service of coaching, but two, like financially, like you have to
Mhm.
pay these people. I don't want that headache. Like I want
Yeah.
to just
It's
worry
stressful.
about, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like to trust someone to do the same level of work that you're doing, I don't know. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And I'm control freak, I guess. So trying to let go of how I do things, or give that to somebody else, that would be really hard, especially with clients. Like other stuff like that you don't like to do, like back end business stuff. It's like, oh, I could pay somebody to do that, but
Yeah.
not the client side of things. And
Yeah.
I think it's important, like usually coaches hire somebody for that connection, like that relationship. Like they don't hire you for like your name or your brand. If so, like that's
Yeah.
so weird to me. I hire somebody for one, learning, like what can I do to learn from this person, but two, like, do I have a good relationship with this person?
Mhm.
You know? Because I don't know. If you go to like a big company or something, it's like you have no idea who you're going to be paired with, and that
Yes.
might not be a good fit. And then you'll
Mhm.
be hopped around, bounced to different coaches,
Yeah.
and it usually costs like way more. So it's like,
Mhm. Yeah, I was talking to one of the coaches at the conference, and they work for a group. There used to be like 100 and something coaches. Now there's 60 something. I'm like, holy cow. So you just kind of get dumped in a bucket. And that, obviously that works for some people, right? Like you just get some random coach. But yeah, I mean, even now I'm very picky about who I work with. I went from, after I stopped using that coach, and I didn't stop because I didn't like her anymore. I was just kind of ready for a different need. By that point, I was getting stronger and I had lost that, first 20 pounds or something. But my back was not getting better. And so I really needed somebody who could give me, who had a background in PT, who could build my program so that I could get stronger. And so that was obviously a different need because I had the other stuff, the nutrition side really, down, and how to have that lifestyle at the same time. So I think things change too as you go in your journey and grow in your journey, and that's okay, right? So
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally.
yeah.
The other thing you keep mentioning, and I think this is really cool because I don't know if a lot of parents think about this. I would hope so. But how you talk to yourself and your body and how you take care of everybody, the kids like absorb that.
Yeah.
Like they really do. And that's really awesome because I think a lot of people's relationship to food issues and exercise and other stuff tends to come from what their parents did, what their parents
Mhm.
were like. Um, and that's like me, like I had a really terrible relationship with food and exercise. My dad is like addicted to exercise and he controlled the food in the house. And so my mom and I would sneak things and we like weren't allowed to have certain things. And my mom was
Wow.
always dieting and other stuff like that and that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad well, it's cool that that was an important thought like for you
Mhm.
and that is probably what made you decide like it's time. I need some guidance and help here. I want to make sure that my daughter doesn't have these same struggles that I do. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I can't imagine where she and I would be if I hadn't have done this and, bit the bullet and found a coach, honestly. Um, I mean, things changed when I became an instructor, which was nice. And she could, she participated in that and stuff like that. But um, having her see my own transformation, um, and then see me help other people has just, I think, opened her eyes. Like, and honestly, recently, she said something she said something about she can't wear this because her belly sticks out or whatever. And I think she actually said fat or something. And I was like so taken aback. And I had to kind of sit there for a second and my eyes started watering. And I was like, what did I do wrong? Like, I thought I thought I had kind of helped her get out of that phase, right? And then I realized, man, I'm just getting into it now. She's 16, right? So her body's changing. Things are going to change, month to month. And now is when I really need to be even more helpful and helping her see her strengths and, what a strong body feels like and what, good energy feels like from food, right? Um, yeah, it's hard and it's not an easy thing. It takes time, just like your own health journey, right? Like
Yes.
you have to be open to hearing it. You have to be um willing to accept that you're not perfect and get the help that you need to fix those things, right? So um yeah, when I'm down on myself, like about the business, or say I, wasn't able to close a client or whatever, she's like, Mom, you need to stop. You are changing people's lives. And that comes through in so many ways. You help us. And I'm like, okay, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
right.
She is right. And it's pretty cool that she's able to, you know, voice that. So
Yeah, and like just with her age, I guarantee it is not anything that you've done. It's
Yeah.
probably just teenagers, right?
Social media and oh yeah.
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 Yeah. So I think the fact that you are aware of how like you talk about things, or being more aware about how you talk to her about things, and how she is and her strengths and capabilities, I think that's gonna really set her up for success, because I feel like most teenage women, especially with social media, have struggled with something.
Yeah.
Even if it's not from home stuff, just in general, it's like
Yeah.
constant comparison, especially with AI now. Ugh.
It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Even I can't. I mean, I'll see some of the, AI stuff that some coaches will put out, like, oh, check this out. This was AI. And I'm like, I wouldn't have, if I was back prior to being a part, and having this business and being a coach and looking at people's bodies regularly, if I was just a regular person, I'd easily be fooled by that. So I can't even imagine, a 16-year-old girl
Yeah.
seeing that. There's no way that they're going to understand that that's fake, right? So it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. Because I mean, again, like I think that's really cool. Hopefully, moms, dads listening, this helps you be a little bit more aware of, because how you talk to yourself, your kids are gonna absorb,
Yeah.
and they see themselves in you. So
Mhm.
if you're constantly like beating yourself up about how you look or the actions that you take or whatever, your kids are going to absorb that, and they might think, "Oh shoot, I'm probably that way too."
Mhm.
So, anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm
And I think knowing what I know now, like I I I don't I try not to should on myself or I wish I would have done this. I try not to do that. But if I when I do have clients who have little kids, I'm like, get them involved, cook with them. Especially if they're stay-at-home parents, right? Cook with them, bring them on walks, like talk to them about exercise, like get them involved in the exercise. It will make such a difference for your own mental state, right?
yes,
But
yes,
it just creates that environment that you need, and then you become less worried about taking time away from them. You're involving them, right? So
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank-
Before we end things, what would you like to leave the audience with?
Oh boy. Um, I would say, if you're in your 40s, be an advocate for yourself. Take the time to listen to your body, understand what's going on in your body. And if you don't understand, find people who can help you and, do your research, find people, talk to your friends, get the help that you need to get through some of these situations that we have going on, whether it's weight loss, hormonal therapy, whatever it is, because we can't be alone in this anymore. We need to stay together, advocate for yourself and advocate for ourselves and make things better for us in the long run because we've got a lot of life to live. So,
Yes, I love that. That was a great way to end the episode.
oh, good.
So where can our audience find you? I'll link these in the show notes, but some people might be listening to the podcast. They might like
Yeah.
look you up
Yeah,
on their
sure.
phone.
I Instagram is empowering future you. I had to think about that for a second. Empowering future you on Instagram, and then Facebook is empowered nutrition coaching. So yes, nutrition is a totally made up word by my son. That's a
Love
totally
it.
other story. But yeah, so
Cool. Well, I will link those in the show notes. And thank you again for being on the podcast. And sharing your story, because I think this will resonate with a lot of people. And the fact that, I mean, you started your health journey like basically at 40,
hmm
and you've made a crazy, incredible transformation, and you're
yeah,
impacting other people too.
yeah, it can be done in your 40s. You are not
Yes.
broken. It can be
Yes.
done. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for listening. If you enjoy the show, if you could rate the show, share the show, or subscribe, and even just tag us on Instagram, tag us on your stories, and just spread the word. That kind of helps the goal of the show, which is to just help more people debunk the crap out there. And also, do not drink your pee.
I forgot.
Do not drink your pee. And I guess that's the last statement of the show. So catch you guys on the next one.